and welcome back to the second half of my trip to Costa Rica. Our next trip was a day trip to visit the Rio Celeste Waterfall in the Rio Volcano National Park. Again, this was booked with Get Your Guide, as all our trips were, and we left La Fortuna and headed for about an hour and a half to reach the national park, stopping off at this bakery to get some yummy goods. We arrived at the national park and were warned about some of the venomous snakes we may encounter, and then we set off on a hike. We saw loads of cool animals, including big spiders, lizards, a basilisk, which I'd only ever heard of in Harry Potter, so didn't realise it was a real animal, snakes, and a tapir, which is a cross between a horse and a hippo. And our tour guide said it was the first time one had been spotted in the park in over a year. We then reached the river and the colour of the water was amazing. Fortunately, it was a clear day so we could really see the blue colour. We then visited the spot where two rivers meet, and you can see where the colour changes due to the different minerals in the water. We then queued for about 20 minutes, although we were told the queues can reach an hour, to see the Rio Celeste Waterfall, which was incredible. We then travelled about 5 minutes to a river that you can swim in. And then we went for lunch, where we had some traditional Costa Rican food. Unfortunately, someone else accidentally took my lunch, so I had to wait a little bit longer, but it was yummy when it arrived. On the way home, we got a surprise of another sloth sighting, and this was the closest one we'd seen. He was so cute eating the leaves. When we got back to town, we went to an Italian place and sat looking out at the street. The food was yummy and it was the best pizza I've ever had outside of Italy. The next day, we woke up to absolute downpours and we learnt how lucky we'd been with the weather so far. This day, we had a trip booked to see the Arenal Volcano, and it just tipped it down the whole day. So the volcano is meant to be there somewhere, but unfortunately it was hidden by the clouds. However, we had seen the volcano from another place on another day, but it was a shame it was so foggy. So despite the rain, we started the hike, which was quite steep and tricky, heading both up and down, especially in the wet. And then this was the view at the top. However, the history of the volcano was really interesting and our guide was great. He even found us a little sloth that was as soggy as we were. We then arrived at the lake, which was cool. And we even saw some wild boar. We then got dropped off at a spot for lunch where we had some Costa Rican style food. I had a pork chop, which was really yummy. And then our guide pointed out a toucan in the tree, which was really cool to see. After lunch, we had some time at one of the hot springs, which was really nice to just chill out at. There were lots of different pools ranging from hot to cold and a couple of bars, and we spent about an hour and a half here. Later that evening we were picked up for our guided night walk, and we actually ended up in the same place we had been for the volcano walk that day. We were given torches, pink for girls and blue for boys, so very stereotypical, and then we headed off. It was still raining, but we soldiered on, and the first thing we saw was this cute little bird in a tree. And then our guide found our first frog, and we saw several of them throughout the night. It was quite hard to film in the rain, but we also saw lots of spiders, snakes, and the red-eyed tree frog was really cool. The next day, we decided to have a chill in the pool for our last morning, as we've been busy every day. But at lunch, we took a stroll up to the town and wandered around the park. And of course did some last minute souvenir shopping. For lunch we went to this restaurant which we had tried to get into one evening, but they were fully booked, and I can see why, because the interior is so cute. The food was delicious. I went for a quesadilla and Lee had a pork and rice bowl. On the way back, we stopped at a market and bought some fresh fruit. And then the next day, it was time to head home, so we had a transfer back to San Jose. As our flight was a night flight, we had a couple of hours to explore the capital. However, a lot of our guides had said that there wasn't much to do in San Jose, so after trying some food in a traditional Costa Rican style restaurant, quick stop outside the art museum and a little stroll through the park, we headed to the airport about 4 hours before our flight. So that was our little trip to La Fortuna in Costa Rica. We absolutely loved it and would have loved to have stayed longer, and hopefully we'll return one day in the future. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.